Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M, and I'm back with yet another video. Today, I'm in the kitchen today. Just when I switched the machine on to do this video, my refrigerator started running its mouth. I don't know. I mean, the very instant I switched it on, it said, oh my goodness. But anyway, here we are today, you guys. Welcome back. Okay, what are we going to do today? What am I going to do today? What kind of video am I going to do today? Like I said, I've made a resolution to tell you right away and not make you wait. Today is a special request video by my good friend, Gershom. And he and I were talking in the DM on Instagram, and he said, why don't you do reviews or not reviews, analyses of album covers. And I said, that sounds like a good idea. So let me show you what he wants me to take a look at today for y'all. This is, I think the band is called Grinderman, and this is an album cover that Gershom, this is a special request for Gershom for me to analyze. And he said there's so much creativity from the 1960s onward with regard to album covers, popular music, all different genres of music, and there's like so much symbolism going on, and etc., and so on and so forth, that would maybe be a good topic for my videos, or like a series for me to do. And I said, you know what, Gershom, that's a good idea. So here I am doing it. Thank you, Gershom. And this one is for you, buddy. I'm going to do this one special for you. And oh, this damn thing. Excuse me, my computer's making noise. Everything's making noise. I don't know what's going on. But, if any of you, dear dear viewers and listeners, if any of you have a special request, you want me to analyze your favorite band's album cover from your favorite album, let me know. I know that Anno Domini is a big music person, and if you want me to, like, analyze some death metal, like, album cover, I'm your chicken. Okay, let me know. So, and all of you, my regulars, my people that I communicate with regularly, Gershom, Richard, also known as Tankard of Tales, Anno Domini, Richland Law, and all of you, and it doesn't have to be my people that I've kind of made friends with. It can be any of you in the comments, any of you watchers, viewers, listeners. If you want me to analyze any album cover, just drop it in the comments, or there's my about section with my email. Go ahead and send me an email. Let me know what you would like me to analyze. And when Gershom showed me this, I said, what is going on? And it intrigued me. He picked a good one, I gotta say. There's a lot of good ones. I mean, there's a lot of amazing album covers. They're basically works of art on all kinds of album covers for all kinds of bands. Like I said, all kinds of genres of music. And it's become kind of like it has a category and a cultural cachet all its own. But that's what we're going to do today. So now you know. Now you can make the decision of whether or not you want to stick around. Now let me get into my little bullshit. And there has been a lot of it lately. Y'all, your homegirl was sitting in the car today on the way home, and I just started crying. I've been going through some stuff lately. Once again, some bullshit. Mercury leaves retrograde tomorrow. Okay, I'm making this video. Is it today? Oh yeah, this is the last day. Well, yeah, no. I'm making this video. It's a little after midnight, early Friday morning, September 15th. And I think today's the last day of Mercury in retrograde. It's been like in retrograde for like a month. Shit, and I can feel it. Let me tell you, I can feel that shit. I've been feeling that shit as long as the shit's been in retrograde. And it's, yes, I like astrology, okay? I'm not an astrologer, but I do enjoy that. Not only has Mercury been in retrograde, but Venus too. That bitch. Okay. So, and I'm having a little coffee as I speak with you today. Today we're in the kitchen. That's why that damn refrigerator just started, wanted to start acting a fool. But yeah, that's what's been going on today. I've been going to grocery stores. I've been going to pharmacies. I've been going to, you know, all kinds of bullshit. Next week is going to be hectic as well. You know, low carb is a way of life. It just is. I've been eating a lot of salad. Still working out, still losing weight, slowly but fucking surely losing weight. I will not capitulate. Damn it. But that's what's been going on, you guys. You know, now that you know what the video is going to be about, now that I give you my little rundown of my nonsense lately. Nothing tragic, nothing horrific, just some bullshit, you know, life and shit. Let me do my church announcements and let's get on into it, people. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate all of you, every single last one of you. I know, you know, I'm a teensy-weensy little channel, but I really do appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. You didn't have to, but you did. And I that really means a great deal to me. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. The more likes I get on a video, the more it pushes it out into the algorithm, and it gives me a little bit more visibility. It's a completely free way to support me. If you like what I'm doing, support the channel. Go ahead and do that now while I'm doing my church announcements. Maybe, you know, next time I do a video, I'll have more interesting grocery store adventures for you. Today, not much. Like I said, it's been some nonsense. But, and I gotta work early tomorrow, and I got some shit going on next week. That's, you know, when's the last time I made a video? Let me see. The Donald Trump video, 3 days ago. The mugshot. Y'all, listen. I know that he is a divisive figure. I know that. That's part of the reason why I made the video. I wanted some clicks and views. All right. And, you know, the mugshots are intriguing. Let's just, you know, let's call a thing a thing. The mugshots are intriguing. And again, I'm not expressing any likes or dislikes in either direction as far as the political thing is concerned. So I got some comments where people, you know, said they were done with me. They've been riding with me since day one. And I appreciate that. I do. But if that's the reason why you're unsubscribing this video, listen, I didn't mean to offend anybody and challenge anybody's political or whatever other kind of beliefs. No, that's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm here to do. I analyzed the mugshots in my own way. You know, maybe I didn't do a good enough job, but that's that. And, you know, that's what's going on. All right. So, again, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. You know, if I really wanted clicks and views, I would talk about Danny Masterson. That's what everybody's been talking about lately. I might just do that. I don't know. And what's been kind of intriguing me about the coverage of the Danny Masterson trial and conviction and sentencing, again, my legal eagles my subscribers and frequent commenters, y'all let me know what you think. I would love to know about that. I might do a video on it. You know, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm willing to do a controversial little video. But you know, I might just look into it. Maybe in the context of analyzing Lolita. Okay. I might do that shit. Why not? You know, maybe tomorrow. Shit, I just gave myself a great idea for a video. Thank you, people who decided to unsubscribe because of my Donald Trump mugshot video. Oh my goodness. But, you know, again, if you're upset with me, okay. All right. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry that you're upset with me. I'm not happy that you're upset with me, but that's all there is to it. Yeah. yeah, look out. Expect a Danny Masterson video. I'll talk about it in the context of Lolita Dolores Hayes, yes, and that damn Humbert. Okay, yeah, Danny Masterson has turned out to be quite the Humbert, the modern day version, hasn't he? But anyway, let me get into this video. This is for Gershom. This is dedicated to you, Gershom. Thank you. Okay, so now here we are with this album cover. I don't know how long this video is going to take, and I don't give a shit. I'm going to talk as long as I want to. Fire up the percolator if you haven't already. Get you those little Lotus Airport cookies. A muffin, a croissant, sticky buns, whatever you're into. and let's get into it. Now, this might not look like very much, okay? And once again, thank you, Gershom, for recommending this. I know you're a big music person. If you have any other suggestions, I'm your chicken. Just let me know. But again, this album cover maybe doesn't look like very much. It looks like a very kind of uncomplicated composition that we're looking at here. And the band is named Grinderman. Okay, so this is the Wikipedia page for Grinderman. It was an Australian-American rock band that formed in London, England in 2006. The band included Nick Cave, Warren Ellis, Marty P. Casey, and Jim Sclavunos. Okay. Nick Cave, you probably better known from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, like he's this counterculture icon. And I have to say I'm a little bit embarrassed about this, but I'm not very familiar with his work, with his music. I'm gonna have to look it up. If any of you have any, if you're Nick Cave fans, and you know any good songs to start me off, let me know in the comments. But that's the name of the band, Grinderman, okay? And the album is Grinderman 2. Is the second and final studio album of alternative rock band Grinderman, a side project of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, released on the 13th of September 2010 on Mute Records in the United Kingdom and Anti in the United States. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into the music because I don't know it. And I'm not going to get into Nick Cave or any of the tea or whatever about him because I don't know none of that. All I know is this album cover that Bert Gershom sent me. And this is interesting. I gotta say. Took me a while to figure it out, Gershom, and everybody who's listening and watching. I said, what room is this? Like in a house, what room would this be? And I just realized it when I was almost maybe a minute before I switched on the machine to make this video. I said, oh shit, it's a bathroom. Okay, I just noticed, because there's the first thing you notice about this image is the wolf in the center of the image, and then this part behind the wolf, I thought those were stairs, and I said, where are these stairs leading to? There's two of them, 2 steps, and I said, these are the steps to nowhere. And is this just for decoration? Like, what's going on with these steps? Is this just an architectural elements solely for the purpose of decoration? And then it fucking hit me. This is a faucet. This little gold-looking thing sticking up behind the wolf's head. I said, oh, that's a faucet. So that means that this thing up here, that's a bathtub, which is significant. Let me get into it. So we see the bathtub with the steps in the background, and then the bath mat right in front of that first step. The floor and the bathtub steps and whatever itself look like they're made of marble, which is important. Okay, is important. Again, the wolf is in the center, and on the wall, the 2 walls that form the corner above the bathtub, it looks like, I don't know if the thing on the left, I don't know if it's a work of art or if it's like a medicine cabinet, and I'm not sure what these things are. Is it a work of art, like a postmodern thing going on? I'm not sure. But this one on the right wall is a mirror. It's a mirror with like lines drawn on it, and the mirror is a square. The mirror is a square. And the lines drawn on the glass of the mirror also form like several not concentric, but you know what I mean, squares. Okay, yeah, I guess they're concentric squares, whatever. Just took a sip of coffee, sorry. So squares, important, and not just the square shape of the mirror, but the squares drawn onto the glass of the mirror itself. Interesting. To me, the squares are about order, logic, reason, math, that kind of thing. And that is very much fits in with everything else we're looking at here. Okay, so we got the wolf, we got the marble flooring, and the, I guess, I assume that this is stone. Maybe it's linoleum, but if it is linoleum, it's linoleum that's made to look like marble. Okay? We got a bathtub. Above the bathtub, we have this art on the left wall. I'll just go ahead and call it that, art. And on the right wall, we have this mirror with the concentric squares. Can't think of what else you would call squares that all have the same center. And then on the left, the very left of the composition, we have a Greek column. Okay, or a replica of a Greek column. And then we have a statue on a little pedestal, on a black pedestal, on the Greek column, and you can see, you know, the hiney, you know, the booty of the statue, and you can see that it doesn't have legs, it's cut off at the knees, and the arm that we can see, the right shoulder, the arm is broken off. Okay, then on the right side, we have this bust and a vase with white roses sitting on this table that looks like it's made of mirror. Okay, more mirrors, more reflective surfaces. All right. And of course, like I said, in the center we have this wolf, and the wolf is showing its teeth. Oh boy. Oh, good heavens. There's a lot going on here. And I just, in the process of just talking it through and explaining to you, dear viewer, dear listener, what I see when I'm looking at this image, that is absolutely essential. If you're analyzing any given work of art, that's what you do. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it now, like, you know, speaking out loud into a microphone and making a video. No. But you know, if you are tasked with analyzing any given work of art or image or whatever, get you a pad of paper and a pencil, a pen, a crayon, whatever you use, and just do it like a grocery list. Do a bullet point list of all the things you notice about that work of art. Another thing that's noticeable, the color white is kind of predominating the decor of this room. We don't have any other color in this room except the little black pedestal underneath the statue on the left and the artwork on the left wall above the tub, and the mirrors. So the mirrors, you could say that's a kind of silvery color, but there's really not much color in this room at all. Like, there's no blue, there's no red, there's no green, there's no yellow, orange, purple, periwinkle, chartreuse. No, I don't see none of that. No colors. Like, nuh-uh. Except for the faucet on the bathtub. That's like a gold, also known as a yellow color, which is interesting. It might factor into what we're looking at here. And I keep like exclaiming because I've got my headphones on, and this microphone is attached to headphones, and I keep hearing my email app keeps like making that noise. Oh, it's bugging me. But anyway, so not very much color, except maybe the gold faucet and maybe the leaf on these white roses. Okay, white roses, important. The wall is white. The floor, yeah, it's got that marbling look, but basically white. The bath mat is white. The column, the fake or replica Greek column, also white. The most colorful thing that we can see on this album cover is the wolf. Okay, and he's got all these browns and blacks and grays, and he's got different gradations of like earth tones, you could even say, to the coloring of the wolf's fur and all of that. So that's what we got going on. Now, what the hell does this all mean? Like I said a second ago before I got distracted by the noise coming from my my email app. If you're going to analyze a work of art, look at it. I looked at it for quite a little while yesterday before I even switched on the machine to do this video. I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it, and I made that list in my head. And I figured, what's the point of me making the list? I'm just going to talk it through when I'm making the video. So here we are. But if you need to analyze for whatever reason, school, work, or you just want to understand a work of art because it intrigues you and it fascinates you, yeah, get a piece of paper or a pad of paper, pencil, pen, crayon, whatever, and make a little list of everything that you notice. And it can be the smallest little thing, or it can just be colors. Like, that's why I went off on that thing about colors, because color is extremely important, and so is the lack of color. Okay, so that's another thing. Like, when you're observing and writing down your observations, like, do it for real. List all of the objects you see. List the shapes of things if you think that's significant. List the colors that are there, or if there's no color. And so on and so forth. And I just basically did that for you verbally here. Okay, that's your first step to a art analysis. Doesn't matter what kind it is. It's a formal analysis, a stylistic analysis, a symbolic analysis, whatever. Doesn't matter. You gotta be aware of what you're looking at and what are the components of the composition that you're looking at in that image. Okay, so now we did that. Okay, now what? Where am I going with this and why? Where are we taking this? Well, several different places. I'm going to concentrate on this column, the Buddha statue, the bust over here on the right, the white roses. I'm going to mention the wolf, yes. I already kind of talked about this mirror with the squares. And the bathtub, I'll probably mention it too, but mostly I'm concerned with this column, the statue, the bust, and the vase with white roses. Okay, now you percolate on that for a little while. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna get right back to you, and we're gonna get into it. I don't know what I'm gonna cover first, but we're gonna cover it all eventually. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, people, I'm back. So here we are with the Grinderman 2 album cover, okay, with the wolf and all the stuff in the background. And so where are we going with this? What is the overall theme of this image that we're looking at here? Greece, all right, Greece, and possibly Rome. Okay, I'm not sure, but overall Greece. And why Greece? Because the Greek culture, the ancient Greek culture, society, whatever, that's what it stands for. Reason, logic, order, not, being measured and circumspect, and just a rule of the intellect rather than emotions. Okay, so, and that's what when you're looking at Greek art, architecture, drama, we all read at least something in high school from Greek theater. That's what's going on. Greek philosophy, it's about separating your emotions away from your intellect and your reasoning capacities. All right, but we've got this wolf in the center, and that kind of negates whatever is being said in the background with all of these markers and reminders of Greek culture. All right, now let me just deal with the bathtub right away. I already talked about the mirror and how squares are about math, logic, science, and trying to. It's the square, at least to me, it seems like a symbol of just trying to organize the world that we live in, the natural world that we live in, planet Earth, nature, into something that human beings can control and manipulate and take advantage of. That's why math and science exist, so we can take advantage of the Earth and its natural resources. That includes the people. All right, that's what the square represents to me, and that's kind of not necessarily what I've been taught, but what I've learned throughout the years. Now, underneath that, and the piece of, again, a square, like modern, postmodern work of art, under the bathtub, underneath it, it's about hygiene. It's about cleanliness and washing and making things nice and pretty, rinsing the dirt off of something. Whether it's, a person or your dishes or whatever, that's what you use faucets for, to clean things. And the faucet, that's why I said it might be important that the faucet itself looks like it's made of gold. Gold is an incredibly important substance, material in this world. It's worth a lot of money. People fight over it. They steal it. Whatever. So the water that is meant to wash the person in the bathtub, that happens to look like it's made of marble, which is one of the preferred building building materials, art materials in the ancient Greek world. They had a lot of marble and they used it a lot. Whoever is getting washed in that bathtub is getting washed. Their kind of the dirtiness of being just a natural person, it gets washed off of them. They get nice and cleaned and prettied up by taking a bath in the water in the bathtub that comes from this golden faucet. All right, so that's what's going on there. So reason, logic, order, mathematical precision, manipulating or exploiting earth, nature, natural resources. That's what the square that I see, and both squares I see above the bathtub and the bathtub itself represent to me. Okay, now that we got that out the way. All right, what's going on? What's going on with, and again, I told you about the marble. That was the preferred building material or material for making sculptures, statues in the ancient Greek world. So there's that. Now, let's deal with something else. I got all these tabs lined up. Let me just get into it. This, okay, the bust on the right, on this like mirror table, who is that in the bust? Well, it was made apparently, if my research is correct, by a person who was called Kresilas, who was a Greek sculptor in the classical period. So it's a classical sculpture, and that is considered to be the best that the Greeks had to offer, the classical period. And Kresilas was from Kydonia. He was trained in Argos and then worked in Athens at the time of the Peloponnesian War as a follower of the idealistic portraiture of Myron. He is best known for his statue of Pericles, and that's what we're looking at in this album cover. That is Pericles, with the Corinthian helmet. Okay, that's very important because the column here with the top of it, that's also Corinthian. All right, we don't need to really know very much about Kresilas, but he was from the city-state of Kydonia on the island of Crete. And for those of you who've been riding with me for a long time and paying attention, we talked about the labyrinth. That's where the labyrinth is, the island of Crete, and it has to do with King Minos, who was a king on the island of Crete. We don't have to get into it now, but that's what Crete, that's the Crete as a location, that's what it means. Whenever you say Crete, that's you just think labyrinth and King Minos and the Minotaur and that kind of thing. Now, the sculpture that we're looking at, the bust, is of Pericles. Who was Pericles? A Greek politician and general during the golden age of Athens. And I'm going to leave these Wikipedia pages for you in the description if you want to do further research, further reading. That's up to you. I can't go through each and every one of these. Oh, good heavens, no. That would take way too much time, and you already know I like to make long videos. No. But anyway, so Pericles, he was a prominent and influential... he was prominent and influential in Athenian politics, particularly between the Greco-Persian Wars and the Peloponnesian War, and was acclaimed by Thucydides, a contemporary historian, as the first citizen of Athens. So this Pericles dude was very important in the ancient, or I think classical, Greek world. Okay, and when you look at art movements that come after Greece, they all seem to mimic or try to copy the classical portion of Greek history. Okay, whether it's the Romans, whether it's neoclassicism by, you know, the English art, American art, in the like 18th century, that's neoclassicism for sure. Okay, so Pericles turned the Delian League, and that's another topic for another time, into an Athenian empire, and led his countrymen during the first 2 years of the Peloponnesian War, the period during which he led Athens, roughly 461 to 429 BC, is sometimes known as the Age of Pericles, but the period thus denoted can include times as early as the Persian Wars or as late as the following century. Okay, Pericles promoted the arts and literature, and it is principally through his efforts that Athens acquired the reputation of being the educational and cultural center of the ancient Greek world. He started an ambitious project that generated most of the surviving structures on the Acropolis. Yeah, that's where the Parthenon is, including the Parthenon. So we have Pericles to thank for that building. The project beautified and protected the city, exhibited its glory, and gave work to its people. Pericles also fostered Athenian democracy to such an extent that critics called him a populist. Pericles was descended through his mother from the powerful and historically influential Achaemenid family. He, along with several members of his family, succumbed to the plague of Athens in 429, which weakened the city-state during a protracted conflict with Sparta. Okay. The Achaemenid family were wealthy and powerful. I'm just looking at this. I would not be surprised if these people claimed to be descendants of divinity. I would not be surprised. I would have to look it up, but that is my suspicion. Okay, so now we know. Okay, so this bust on the table over here, that's Pericles. All right. What else we got? We got the butt statue. Okay, it's in a contrapposto pose. Again, that comes to us from Greek art. They invented the contrapposto, where they figured out how to make a freestanding sculpture. And the weight is kind of shifted in the sculpture, like to one side, which makes it look more natural, like the person is moving or walking. And this is one good example. And I think, I don't know, I can't say that I know exactly where this statue is from that we see on this album cover, like who made it, what's the subject of the statue. But my suspicion, and you know what, since it's turned away from us and you can just see the back side of it, the butt, that means that the creator of this image, the author of this image, isn't concerned with us knowing exactly which statue this is, because it's hard to identify if you can't see the front of it. But I think suffice it to say it's a Greek statue from this period that is supposed to be like the best that the ancient Greeks had to offer, allegedly, as far as logic, reason, science, law, philosophy, art, everything. Okay, so, but my suspicion is that it might be not but a Diadumenos, also known as the diadem bearer. Okay, so I know it's hard to see because it's over off to the side and it's kind of like cut off. The left side of it is cut off, so we're not meant to see the whole thing or even be able to identify the statue exactly which one it is from the ancient Greek world. But I think it might be the Diadumenos. And what does diadumenos mean? It means diadem bearer. What's a diadem? Basically a crown. Basically a crown that is worn on a person's head, like a band around the head. And the diadumenos, the diadem bearer, together with the doryphoros, the spear bearer, this is him. Did I open this? Yeah, I did. Are two of the most famous figural types of the sculptor Polykleitos. Okay. Did I open up a page for Polyclitus? Probably not, but I might. The two most famous figural types of the sculpture Polyclitus, forming a basic pattern of ancient Greek sculpture that all present strictly idealized representations of young male athletes in a convincingly naturalistic manner. Okay, this is hard to pronounce for me. The Diadumenos is the winner of an athletic contest. The Greeks were all about athletics. After all, the Olympics came from them. Is the winner of an athletic contest at a games, still nude. Yes, they competed in the nude. After the contest, and lifting his arms to knot the diadem, the thing around his head, the crown, a ribbon band that identifies the winner, and which in the bronze original of about 420 BCE, so yeah, I guess classical Greece, would have been represented by a ribbon of bronze. Okay, the figure stands in what I told you, contrapposto, with his weight on his right foot, his knee slightly bent, and his head inclined slightly to the right, self-contained, seeming to be lost in thought. Phidias was credited with a statue of a victor at Olympia in the act of tying the fillet around his head. Besides Polyclitus, his successors Lysippos and Scopas also created figures of this kind. Okay, and there's a lot of Roman copies. There's a lot of Roman copies of all Greek art, or that's one of the reasons why we know anything about Greek art, because the Romans were so enamored of it that they made lots and lots and lots of copies. Okay, just took a sip of coffee. And again, the Romans made the marble ones, but the original Greek sculptures, I think, were cast in metal. Yeah, it says copied from Greek originals in bronze. Okay, so we're dealing with an athlete. With the Greek culture, athletics was extremely important. Yes, they competed in the nude. Why do you see so much nudity in Greek? Let me go back to the album cover. Why do you see so much nudity in Greek sculptures? Well, because they considered nudity to be a representation of a noble person. For whoever you're looking at is more or less an embodiment. Whoever's being depicted, or the figure type or whatever that's being depicted in the sculpture is basically a representation of perfection. That was the goal. Don't worry about your emotions. Don't worry about your human drives and desires and whatever. No. You need to always be striving for perfection in every area of life, including your body. All right? The gym culture, yeah, we can thank the Greeks for that. People chiseling themselves with weights and whatever, that they believed that a fit body also equated a fit mind. All right, they did believe. They definitely judged a book by its cover. Absolutely, they did. And so these sculptures, all right, this is a reconstruction down here, and this, if you want to get a better look at the diadem, there's a detail here. I'll just go ahead and click on this, and this is why I think this is a good candidate for the sculpture over here, because the contrapposto, the butt, the hip area is like sticking out to the right, and looks like that's what's going on here too. It's cut off at the knees, but and it's missing arms. Okay, it's missing something else too, and I won't say what, but you can see. Oh, Lord. You can see the musculature. You can see the ab muscles. You can see the pectoral muscles, the biceps, all of this stuff. This is a perfect male body. Okay, this is an athlete. This is somebody who's young. This is a man who's young. He's in his prime, and his body is pretty darn physically fit. And now that we've read the description, we know that this is not just a young, physically fit person, but they're also the winner of an athletic competition. Okay, that's why they have the diadem around their head. Okay, And the contrapposto, you can see all of the weight is in the right leg of this thing, and that would make the hip jut out to the right. Again, in this one, the hands are missing. There's probably plenty of these with the arms missing. That's what I think is going on. Athletics and the nude body and physical fitness and what it represents in the ancient Greek world. Perfection. And that's what you should be striving for. Perfection in every conceivable way, in every conceivable area of life. That's what's going on. Okay, so that's that statue down there. And we also have the Doryphoros. Similar thing going on. The Doryphoros, this is the one they teach mostly in art history classes, the spear bearer. And this is again by Polykleitos. I'll just go ahead and open up the page on Polykleitos. Is one of the best known Greek sculptures of classical antiquity, depicting a solidly built, muscular, standing warrior, in this case warrior, originally bearing a spear balanced on his left shoulder. That would have been this hand, where it looks like there should be something in there. Yeah, it should be a spear. Rendered somewhat above life size, the lost bronze original of the work would have been cast circa 440 BC, but is today known only from later, mainly Roman period marble copies. The work nonetheless forms an important early example of both classical Greek contrapposto and classical realism. As such, the iconic Doryphoros proved highly influential elsewhere in ancient art. This thing is freaking famous. Okay, this is freaking famous. And Polykleitos, they even have like a link to the canon of Polykleitos. And canon, C-A-N-O-N, is just the proportions that he used to make his statues of people perfectly proportioned. And if you want to know more about that, go ahead and navigate to this page, click on Canon of Polykleitos, and you'll see what's going on. Okay, but the canon is also, as it says here, translated as measure or rule. So all of this, the body that you're looking at here, is perfectly proportioned, symmetrical, not one flaw as far as the measurements are concerned. It exemplified what he considered to be the perfectly harmonious and balanced proportions of the human body in sculpted form. Okay? I told you these people were serious about their perfection. And it is exhibited in art. That's why people are so enamored of Greek art, because it represents what they believe is like the pinnacle of what art is supposed to do, present to you, the viewer, perfection, perfect symmetry, perfect balance, perfect harmony, perfect everything. And this all has to do, this representation of perfect balance, symmetry, harmony, has to do with what I talked about a little while ago, manipulating the natural world, the earth, and everything to make it, to bend it to your will. If you try hard enough, if you work hard enough, if you say no to pleasure and your human desires, you can achieve perfection. We even have that now. All those people on Instagram, if you've been on Instagram, you're going to run into them. All of these people who tell you how to make money and how to better yourself as a human being, and for some reason they always, or maybe not always, but very frequently use Marcus Aurelius as their, example of all of his philosophy and all of that stuff. And Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor, also philosopher, but we can talk about that some other time. We have that on Instagram. The perfection of the body is supposed to equate a perfection of the mind, and somebody who's an elite, somebody who's basically, that's what you want to be. That's what you want to look like. That's what you want your life to be like. That idea is still with us, and it's used very, very frequently in advertising and art. Advertising is art. If you didn't know, now you do. Okay? That's how they sell you. Me, I've been going skincare crazy lately. I've been using all kinds of serums and moisturizers and cleansers, and I have a skin condition and I'm trying to like fight it. But I'm enjoying it, and like every so often I just see a new cream that I want to try. And not it's not because of I had the ads with beautiful women that I want to look like, but I really want my skin to look nice. I want to get rid of, like, the issues with my skin. But that's the kind of industry, selling beauty products, selling clothes, fashion, clothes, shoes, hair care products, handbags. For men too, clothes, shoes, belts, ties, suits, cologne, cars, houses, what else? Food. You are what you eat, don't you know? And I mean, that is true to an extent, somewhat, with regard to your health. But again, it's taken to an extreme. It's taken to an extreme. And we can thank the Greeks for that. And their nudity that they're so well known for. People wonder, like, why are there no images of Greek women or Greek classical images of women? Well, because women were second-class citizens in ancient Greece, pretty much literally. And they didn't think of the female body as very beautiful. The male body, that's what you want to concentrate on. And a perfect male body. Perfect, the dude looks like he works out, he's perfect. And nudity is considered a representation of purity, nobility, perfection. And that they took that idea from the Egyptians, but the Egyptians did it differently. For the Egyptians, nudity, if you saw a nude figure in Egyptian art, that meant that figure was a servant, a slave, low class. And the clothed figures were upper class, or the elites, like the pharaoh, that kind of thing. So but the Greeks took that from Egypt and they flipped it around, where they made nudity ennobling. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with, and that's why I think this sculpture is here in this bathroom, on the cover of this Grinderman 2 album by the band Grinderman. Okay, and we already talked about Pericles. Okay, they're just the best that the Greeks had to offer, allegedly. Okay, allegedly. We talked about cleansing, hygiene, order, reason, logic, rationality, in every conceivable area. That's why we're in a bathroom. That's where you do all of your cosmetic stuff. That's where you clean yourself up and make yourself pretty every day. You wash yourself in the bathtub or the shower. You wash your hair. You shave. You brush your teeth. You do your skincare like I've been doing lately. You do your makeup. And in our world, that's where, you deposit and eliminate and rid yourself of your own waste. Okay, that's the toilet. We don't see a toilet here, but it's implied. It's a bathroom in the modern world. Of course, there's a toilet somewhere in there. So that's what's going on. Okay, so and I have the page open for Polykleitos, active in the 5th century BCE, and now both of these sculptures that we're looking at here, the bust over here of Pericles and the diadem bearer over here with it, showing his, and the fact that the statue is showing us its ass means that, or that's how it's positioned by the author of this image, that is saying something. Okay, it's all a big joke. No, the whoever is putting this together doesn't maybe, this is my suspicion, doesn't necessarily take Greek culture and Greek art and all of that seriously. He thinks or she, I don't know, whoever is the author of this image probably thinks that the perfection of Greek culture is, they're basically full of shit. All right? Again, we have an ass. Here's the Polykleitos, the artist, ancient Greek sculptor active in the 5th century BCE, alongside the Athenian sculptors Phaedos, Myron, Praxiteles. He is considered one of the most important sculptors of classical antiquity. The 4th century BCE catalogue attributed to Xenocrates, the Xenocratic catalogue, which was Pliny's guide in matters of art. We can talk about Pliny some other time. Ranked him between Phaedos and Myron. He's particularly known for his lost treatise, the Canon of Polykleitos, a canon of body proportions, again, very important, which set out his mathematical basis of an idealized male body shape. None of his original sculptures are known to survive, but many marble works, mostly Roman, are believed to be later copies. And again, this is all about perfection, balance, harmony, order, what have you. Is there anything else? Hold on. Yeah, so that's the sculptures in the album cover. Bathtub, faucet, sculptures, mirrors, squares, marble. Everything's about Greeks. Greek, 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 Greek. Okay, Greek. I would even go as far as to say that this philosophy of the Greeks is partially why the world is such a mess today, but that's just me. That's just me. What did I look up here? Greek architectural orders. I wanted to show you that. Here they are. Okay. This is an article from Smart History, Greek architectural orders. You can watch this video and read this page if it interests you. All of the different parts of the Doric order, for example. And there's a bunch of them. Now, why am I here? Classical orders. Because of this column here on the left that the butt statue is standing on top of. And I believe it's Corinthian. I could be mistaken. You let me know. Classical order, and let me read this to you. It's a funky looking Wikipedia page, but whatever, that's how it came out. An order in architecture is a certain assemblage of parts subject to uniform established proportions, regulated by the office that each part has to perform. Coming down to the present from ancient Greece and ancient Roman civilization, the architectural orders are the styles of classical architecture, each distinguished by its proportions and characteristic profiles and details, and most readily recognizable by the type of column employed. The three orders of architecture, the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian, originated in Greece. To these the Romans added, in practice if not in name, the Tuscan, which they made simpler than Doric, and the Composite, which was more ornamental than the Corinthian. Let me see the Tuscan. Yeah, no, that's simpler. The Composite, which was more ornamental than the Corinthian, or the Corinthian is the fancy one, okay? The architectural order of a classical building is akin to the mode or key of classical music, the grammar or rhetoric of a written composition. It is established by certain modules like the intervals of music, and it raises certain expectations in an audience attuned to its language. In other words, you gotta be cultured to understand this shit. Cultured and educated in a very specific way. Okay? This is not meant for poor people or uneducated people to understand. That's why I think it's bullshit, number one. But also, this is, whenever you see, I mean, even when I finally get to Twin Peaks, I know one of my commenters wanted to know when I'm going to get to Twin Peaks. I will. I've had some shit going on, but I will, I promise. When you see those statues in the Black Lodge in Twin Peaks, they're from Greece. They happen to be of women. That's important. But they're from Greece. Okay? And again, these Greek columns, and even the columns in the lobby of the Overlook Hotel, and or the barracks in the Full Metal Jacket. Whenever you see them in art of any kind, they mean something. Usually, if maybe not always, I don't know, but usually the artist is trying to remind you of ancient Greece or Greco-Roman art and what it means. And what it stood for, at least for those people at the time, and for us now. We're still using these elements of architecture and these designs and whatever. And whenever that's used, you're saying or the people using them are basically saying, we identify with the ancient Greeks and Romans. We want to be as awesome as they were. Conquering, exploiting people, slavery. Yeah, we want to be just like them. That's at least how I interpret it. Y'all let me know in the comments how you feel. Anyway, whereas the orders were essentially structural in ancient Greek architecture, which made little use of the arch until the late period. In Roman architecture, where the arch was often dominant, the orders became increasingly decorative elements, except in porticos and similar uses. They're still more or less decorative. Okay, and again, decoration always means something. Decoration is not just to make something look pretty. Decoration is to let the people looking at whatever it is that you've decorated, you want those people, whoever can see it, to know who you are and what you're about when you're choosing things to decorate your home, your body, whatever. You're sending a message to the viewer. Now, like I don't know if I've said this in videos before, but I'm telling you now, dear viewer, dear listener, be careful when you choose furniture, when you choose clothes, when you choose plates, cups, anything, tattoos, whatever. Be careful, because you have no idea what you're telling people about yourself. And you might run into somebody like me, who is real good at figuring that kind of shit out. You might be telling people that you don't even know what you're telling them, but it is about you, and you don't even know what you're revealing about yourself through your choice of, again, home decor, clothing, hair, jewelry, tattoos, makeup, your car, whatever. Be careful. Anyway, so that's that. I think that's all I'm going to say. But okay, let me keep going with this paragraph. Columns shrank into half columns emerging from walls or turned into pilasters. This treatment continued after the conscious and correct use of orders initially following exclusive Roman models returned in the Italian Renaissance, Greek Revival architecture, in the 18th century, inspired by increasing knowledge of Greek originals, returned to more authentic models, including ones from relatively early periods. And again, I think what we're looking at is, where is it? Corinthian order in this image. Now, what we're looking at, it might be a very specific example from history. This might even be like something from Roman art rather than Greek art that we're looking at on this album cover. But the top of it, definitely, no, not him, definitely Corinthian. And the Corinthian order, the Corinthian order, as it says here, is, sorry, I didn't mean to close that, is the most elaborate of the Greek orders, characterized by a slender fluted column having an ornate capital decorated with 2 rows of acanthus leaves. Okay, and 4 scrolls. The shaft of the Corinthian order has 24 flutes. The column is commonly 10 diameters high. The Roman writer Vitruvius credited the invention of the Corinthian order to Callimachus, a Greek sculptor of the 5th century BC. The oldest known building built according to this order is the Choragic monument in Lysicrides in Athens, constructed from 335 to 334 BC. The Corinthian order was raised to rank by the writings of Vitruvius in the 1st century BC. Okay. All right. It's the fancy one. Now, the Roman orders, the Tuscan order, it might be, I don't know, but I think they're really, really, really concentrating on ancient Greece, okay? And these orders, they branch out into other things, as you can see down here, French orders, British orders, American orders, and you can study Greek temple architecture in your own time, or if you want me to do it, I'll do a video about it, whatever. Now this is the page for Corinthian orders specifically. And again, I hope I got it right. I hope if I didn't, let me know. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. So Corinthian orders, I think it just repeats what I just read from that little bit here on the page for these classical orders. So I won't be redundant, but that's what's going on. Now, what else? Oh, this table, I don't know. This just looks extremely geometric to me, and it's just maybe reminding you of, again, the Greeks and their manipulation of architecture buildings through geometry and whatever. That might be it. And it's a reflective surface, so there's vanity involved here. Okay, this idea of perfection and perfect harmony and balance and order. Then you know, the human body can be molded into this perfect machine. There's a lot of vanity and ego and narcissism going on there. Okay, and again, these mirrors, or maybe definitely this one mirror above the tub. Yeah, that's what's going on too. Vanity. Again, I told you, the bathroom is the place where you make yourself pretty. The last thing I want to discuss is these white roses on the table. Okay, what's going on with white roses? So I found this page. It says the meaning of white roses. It says whether it's to express love, pay respect to the departed, or you simply want to say you care, white roses are as versatile as they are timeless. Now, the meaning of white roses. What does it say here? White roses are traditionally a popular choice for weddings. They're also associated with new beginnings. They're a way to express that your loved one is viewed as a goddess. They symbolize purity and joy. In politics, they symbolize bringing peace. At funerals, they symbolize honor, reverence, remembrance, love, and respect for the departed person. Regardless of their meanings, white roses are universally seen as a beautiful flower and a timeless gift to show care and brighten someone's day. I'm not going to concentrate on weddings or new beginnings, really. The white is the color of purity. Okay, dear viewer and listener, so that's why they're there. This whole thing with, again, all of the stuff that reminds us of ancient Greek culture, it's about purity. It's about being pure, uncontaminated, perfect. Again, just perfection in every conceivable way. That's why those damn white roses are there. And the purity and joy. But maybe like I'm going to concentrate on the funerary meaning of white roses, because I think that the author of this image this is a joke. This is sarcasm. I absolutely believe that. They're saying that all of this stuff that our whole culture and civilization are built around, the one that we're living in right now, is some bullshit. All of these values and whatever that we've inherited, that were passed down to us, all the way going back to Greek culture, bullshit, complete bullshit. They have not helped the world. They've not made people's lives better. Okay, they're the basis for enslavement and exploitation and abuse and wars and all that bullshit. So these white roses, I'm thinking that they're playing on this funerary aspect of it. A meaning of white roses at funerals. They're spotted often at funerals. Very common flower for this occasion, along with flowers like chrysanthemums and carnations in the same color, white. As the white rose can also indicate honor and reverence, and often a feeling of spirituality. They are regularly present in sympathy arrangements at funerals. They are used to symbolize remembrance, love, and respect for the departed person. Maybe the author of this image is saying this shit is dead, it's old, it's from the ancient world, and it needs to stay that way. It should be in the past. We shouldn't be bringing the shit up again in the modern world. I don't know. They are used to symbolize and a way of telling others that the departed has gone to heaven. In these emotional times, white roses act as a way to bring a little bit. Okay. Other occasions. They are again, new beginnings, to restore balance in life, symbol of good health. Again, all of the things that the Greeks. You need to be perfect. You need to be perfect in every conceivable way. Okay. You need to be perfect, just perfect in every conceivable way. Now, one more thing that I haven't talked about. I'll cover that pretty quickly, and then I'll let you go. I told you all about this stuff. The butt statue, the column, Pericles, white roses, the bathtub, the marble, the golden faucet, the mirrors, the squares, the white as the predominant color of this room, and even the bath mat is white. I haven't talked about the wolf, though. The wolf is a representation of nature, not just nature, but wild nature that don't give a shit about order, reason, balance, harmony, math, science, symmetry, perfection. Nah, that wolf just wants to eat. Okay? That wolf is possibly a symbol of the natural world. Yes, there is the myth of Romulus and Remus. And is this, I can't tell what gender this wolf is. Is it a male or female? But the two little babies, one of them became the founder of Rome. And They're very highly revered by the Roman civilization. They were raised by the she-wolf. Okay. Is that who this is? I don't know. I don't think so, because we can't see whether or not this wolf is female. That's one. I think that in this context, the wolf is a symbolic of the natural world that cannot be tamed by the bullshit represented by the background with the Greek stuff. The natural world that cannot be tamed no matter how hard you try. Nature is always going to be nature. Nature is always going to win. Okay? No matter how hard you try to manipulate it and bend it to your will and exploit it and put it in a nice little square box and use math and science to take advantage of it, and again, try to bend it to your will and predict it or influence it. No. Nature always wins. Nature always wins. It's a force that cannot be stopped. It's a force that cannot be tamed. And it's much stronger than civilization. It's much stronger than civilization. It's always going to win. Because if you remove human influence from whatever, like all the buildings, all the architecture, all the science, all the stuff that are present in our world, when you remove the human influence, you remove human hands that manipulate everything. Everything is going to go back to nature. Those structures that are created by human beings, buildings, stadiums, schools, museums, courthouses, jails, all of that, it will crumble. Nature would take over. That grass is slowly going to come through and bust up the concrete, and nature will take over. Okay, and the wolf is symbolic of that. The wolf as this unstoppable force of nature. So, is that what the author of the image of the cover of this Grinderman album is saying? You got all this shit from ancient Greece in the background, all of this stuff about wanting to control the world and how they try to do it, and all of their art and all of their, their sculptures and their philosophy and all of it, politics, everything. It's all bullshit. It's all trying to go against nature, which you shouldn't try and do. Is that what the author of this image is trying to say? And the wolf is a representative of why and how you shouldn't try to fight nature, because nature's always going to win. Why not try to make peace with nature, or just try to, be in harmony with nature rather than all of this artificial mathematical shit? I don't know. And again, with that Roman myth of baby Romulus and Remus, the she-wolf represents the natural world, and that's supposed to represent how tough the founder of Rome is, because he was raised by a wolf. Don't mess with him. So they try to blend the natural, the mythology and the awe of the fierceness and the volatility of the natural world, and they try to combine that with the civilized world of math and science and balance and order and reason and logic. So the Romans did it a little bit differently, and we have that to this day in our culture. In our culture, we have that, and that's what I believe that film directors like David Lynch, Stanley Kubrick, even Quentin, and a bunch of other ones that I probably can't even think of yet. Probably Steven Spielberg too. They're all trying to say, yeah, that's some bullshit. The history has failed us. Greedy people and their quest for world domination have failed us, and this is how they've tried to do this nonsense, the world domination. Okay? With ideas that they learned from ancient Greece. Where did the ancient Greeks get those ideas? That's another video for another time. But anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this Grinderman cover. I enjoyed this. I got to flex my art history muscles. I loved it. So You guys, I'm going to leave all these links in the description. You can read them and research them in your own time, however you like, whenever you like. I'm going to use this, of course, as my thumbnail. Hopefully it'll get some attention. We'll see. And and again, my rant at the beginning of the video, now I know what I got to do. Make a video about that asshole, Danny Masterson. I'm going to connect it to Lolita, Humbert, Dolores, everything. So stay tuned for that. And yes, I'm going to get back to Twin Peaks and The Shining pretty soon. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So you guys, thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to all my nonsense and my analysis of this thing. Thank you so much, Gershom, for giving me this thing to analyze. I really enjoyed this. I could write a paper about this. Ooh, yes, I could. I could, 10 pages, bibliography, notes, cover page. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that would be fun. Like, what do I call myself on my channel and my social media? I'm a professional art nerd. This is right up my alley. So, okay, you guys, thank you again for listening. I'm going to reiterate my church announcements. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you all so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you know anybody who might enjoy this. I especially am looking forward to the comments. Please don't forget to like. That helps me a lot. And please go ahead and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I've got more where this came from. So that's that. That's it. That's that, and that's all. I'm done for today. I'll see you I'll talk at you in a couple of days. And until then, until I find yet another reason to talk at you, I'm going to go ahead and bid you bye-bye. So, bye-bye, everybody.